Hello everyone, my name is Abraham Maslow, and I will be telling you a little bit about myself. So, my full name is Abraham Harold Maslow, and I was born on April 1st, 1908 in Brooklyn, New York. I am the oldest of 7 children from my first generation Jewish immigrant parents from Russia. I grew up in a poor family in a poor neighborhood who often experienced hate from anti-Semitic gangs. Unfortunately, I did not have a good relationship with my mother, and I've been on record saying how much disdain I had towards her. One of my more famous quotes about my mother was, I had reacted to was not only her physical appearance, but also her values and worldview, her stinginess, her total selfishness, her lack of love for anyone else in the world, including her own husband and children, her narcissism, her Negro prejudice, her exploitation of everyone, her assumption that anyone was wrong who disagreed with her, her lack of friends, and her sloppiness and dirtiness. So I was not a very big fan of my mom, unfortunately, and we did not get along at all. Due to my poor relationship with my mother and few friends growing up, I grew a love for the library and reading books. I went on to attend the top high school in Brooklyn, which was called Boys High School. And at the time, I was into physical strengths and reading about how to increase your strength as a man. And at the time, I considered that to be the defining characteristic of being a man over your mental attributes. So moving on from my younger days, my high school days, in 1926 I went on to attend City College of New York, but I soon dropped out after not taking much interest in what I was studying. So I transferred to Cornell soon after in 1927, but had to leave due to poor grades and expenses. Then I went back to City College of New York and went on to graduate, and then transferred to graduate school at University of Wisconsin, which is where I started to study psychology. I focused mainly on being an experimental behaviorist at the time, and I completed my master's thesis in 1931 and received my master's degree from the University of Wisconsin soon after that. My master's thesis was published in 1934 after some convincing from my professor to send it into a publisher because he thought it had the power to be published, which it did. So for so for my career, I continued my research at Columbia University after I graduated with my master's at Wisconsin. I was part of faculty at Brooklyn College for 14 years, which was from 1937 to 1951. After that, I became a professor at Brandeis University for 18 years, right after I left Brooklyn College, so from 1951 to 1969. I was nominated for president of the Association for Humanistic Psychology in 1963, but I rejected the nomination. Uh, I passed away on June 8th, 1970 in Menlo Park, California due to a heart attack while jogging. So not much is known about my family, but I married a girl named Bertha Maslow in 1928 when I was just 20 years old. Uh, she was still in high school at the time and was also my first cousin. We eventually had 2 children, and their names were Anne Maslow and Ellen Maslow. So, what I took passion in was humanistic psychology. So, basically, I veered off the path of thinking that most psychologists find themselves under, and I created what is called humanistic psychology. So basically what humanistic psychology is it's the idea that people have their own resources to promote growth and healing from within, as well as the ability to acknowledge their basic needs and slowly move up that ladder of bigger, better, and more complex needs. I was a positivist, so this theory suits people who are optimistic and are positive, who see humans in a more positive light than others. In turn, I was highly critical of Sigmund Freud and believed that his theories focused too much on the negative aspects of humans. And due to my optimism, I didn't think that this was a necessary thing to study and look at. So the hierarchy of needs is what I'm most famous for, and it is still studied to this day. Um, Basically, what the hierarchy of needs is it's a set of needs set up in a pyramid pattern, and the most basic needs are set at the bottom, and each level gets more and more complex. So basically, each need must be satisfied for the next need to be focused on and obtained. And I believe that once a person has met all their physical and psychological needs, they can actually reach self-actualization if they focus on that. The level of needs from the most basic and the most, like the bottom part of the pyramid, go psychological, physiological needs, safety, love, esteem, and then self-actualization, which is at the top. Like I said, this theory has been widely accepted and is still studied today and believed to be one of the main motivators for people in finding a career in a place that they find to be called home. So here is the pyramid, what I was talking about. At the bottom in the purple, you can see physiological needs, which is the most basic form, which is breathing, food, water, sex, sleep, and homeostasis. You move up a level into the blue, which the needs become safety needs, and those are security of body, security of employment, security of resources, security of morality, security of your family, of your health, and of your property. Then when we move up another level into the green, we have love and belonging needs. This entails friendship, family, and sexual intimacy with the people that you hold close. So the next level of needs after that is in the yellow, and this is the esteem needs. These entail self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, and respect by others. So you wish to feel respected by the people around you, as well as respect the people around you. Then at the very top, the most complex form of needs is self-actualization, which we talked about in the previous slide. So self-actualization entails morality, creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, lack of prejudice, and acceptance of facts. And so, like I was saying, from the bottom to the top is how this goes, and people, when they're looking for a career or looking for a job at the time, the most basic needs need to be satisfied first in order for the other ones to be satisfied next. So we can't go from esteem to self-actualization to love, belonging, and then to another one. We have to go from physiological needs to safety needs to love and belonging needs to esteem, and then all the way up to self-actualization. So that's basically all about me. Again, my name is Abraham Maslow, and I am most famous for my humanistic psychology studies and hierarchy of needs, which is still studied today in schools all around the world.